Good evening, everybody. And Mike.
Hey, good evening, y'all. What's up?
Mhm. And we got Rich on today
What's up?
in place of Rux today.
You forgetting our castmates' names. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's been 2 weeks, man. It's been a long
It's,
time.
it's been a long time. But hey,
Yeah,
we look forward to having Rich be more on the shows, man. He's a
yeah.
big baseball, big Tigers fans, just like we are. So,
Yep. We can have a 4-man crew, man. That's awesome. So, introduce yourself, Rich.
I'm Richard. Reside in Tennessee from Detroit. You can get me at Riggs928 on X.
Awesome. How about you, Mike?
same here. You can find me on Twitter. I still can't call it X, man. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be Twitter forever for me. But y'all know y'all can find me at @1pride_JR.
Yep. And you guys can find me. I'm Chris, crazy hockey fan on Twitter as well. So 7-3 in our last 10, and we played good against two very, very big opponents prior to the All-Star break. We can discuss the Tigers versus the Guardians series. How do we feel about that series?
Shoot, I thought it was pretty big because that was going against the division opponent, being number one, take 3 out of 4. It's pretty impressive, especially to end on the break.
Yeah. How do you feel, Mike? Pretty good. I like the fact because the previous series that we had with the Indians, we didn't do well against them, and this was a 4-game coming in, and I was sitting here going, man, if they take like 3 out of 4 against us, we're going to be so far behind. I don't even think it'll count. And surprisingly, we came out unscathed. In fact, we took 3 of 4 and we did very well. And our young guys started coming through.
Yep, I agree. I feel great too. I mean, it was 4 games. We won 3 out of 4, and we got them again 6 more times. So we got another 4-game series with them, and then we got the Twins, and I think we got them for 2 more games. So we got a lot of AL Central ground we can make up in these 9 games we got between them and the Twins coming up.
Yeah, definitely got that. Yeah, I like the fact that we took 3 out of 4 against our division rival, which is really good because at the end of the day, those are the people you want to beat is the people in your own division, and that was awesome. Very good. See, we can move on to the Tigers versus the Dodgers, and I know we all like this. This series was good.
Yeah, come back.
I think this was my favorite series maybe of all season so far. Another number 1 team. We won 2 out of 3. We could have won that third one as well. 2 comeback win. That's one thing I'll say about this team, which is frustrating, is they can be all game long, and then they'll have that 1 inning at the end of the game, and they'll where was this team at all game? And to see them, and even more impressive to me, it was who was doing the damage. It was your young guys. That was impressive to me.
Yeah, I agree, man. Young guys coming through, and they making some of these vets step up too. Because the whole team was struggling at a portion before these 2 series, and a lot of the struggling was coming from the vets as well. Like we had guys like 1 for 30, maybe 3 for 30. Like and everybody was getting it, but hey, these young guys stepped it up, and they got these veteran bats to step it up too. So I love what I'm seeing. Also, what I love about the Dodgers series is we didn't get outclassed, man. That's what I looked at the most. Like we didn't get outclassed. Felt like we belonged. Like we were in every game. Like the one game, of course, it was a little dicey. We scored those 5 runs in the 9th, but other than that, man, we was right there with this team, man, for the majority of these games.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if it wasn't for like two misplays in the first game, we would have won that one too because we had We had one where I think it was Malloy who stole second base but popped up too hard on it and got tagged out. And then also, I think it was Riley Green was trying to got too far of a leadoff and got picked off, and so barely, but he got picked off. Those minus those two, I believe
you forgot the Perez one too, Chris, when he was stealing second base and he got up and they got his behind.
So then it wasn't Malloy, then it was Wenzel Perez. I couldn't remember the guy.
Okay, so you just had the wrong guy. Okay,
yep.
But I like too in that last game. We won it by bunting. Them last two hits were bunts. So
yeah, that pitcher got destroyed. Them 2 bunts, man.
It makes you think. I wonder if there was a scouting report because he looked awful. The one where he bobbled it at first on the first baseline, and then that throw to third base, man, it wasn't even close.
No, I wasn't close at all, and that's what lost him the game back to back. I know he got errors for that. Because there's no way in the world. Like, they were giving you 2 outs there, and you didn't get one, and that's how we won that game. But it was phenomenal, man. Good bunts put down too, because that's a lost art, man. We were talking about that watching the game. It's a lost art in baseball is bunting, man. It's a lot of people that can't put a good bunt down.
That is true.
Hey, Chris, you see that comment over there? We got to fix that if you see it, if you can.
I can't fix it. I don't have the. I can't do it in show. I don't think I can do that.
Okay, just keep rocking there.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, because if I click out of this show, I don't know if it'll end the show or not. So I'm not versed in that yet. So, but yeah, you guys are still talking about the Dodgers series, correct? So I don't know if you guys covered this or not, but I almost gave up on that game that we scored 5 runs in. I literally turned off the game and said, you know what, this game's over. But you know what? After that game, I'm going to start watching the Tigers game all the way through. I'm not going to give up on them anymore because they've shown that they can come back twice in a row against a top-level team. So definitely.
Yeah, hey Chris, I got a question. So does that come from you, or does that come from the background as far as the link?
That comes from the background. Like before you start the show, that's part of the setup.
Okay.
When you set up the show, that's automatic feeds. It automatically feeds to Facebook and Twitter.
All right, let's just keep rocking because I don't want to start over.
Yeah. So next, how do we feel at the All-Star break? How do you feel the team is overall at the All-Star break?
I mean, I think that was the best way you could go into All-Star break. Going, what was it? 6 and 2. Wait, no. 4, 7, 6 and 3, right? No,
we're 7 and 3 in the last 10 games.
5 and 2. I'm sorry, going 5 and 2 against 2 number 1 teams. Going into the break and being as young as we are, I think that has to bring up their confidence.
It definitely does. It's great. I mean, the high-level teams that we played, and people will probably shun the Guardians because they're in the American League Central. But the Guardians are a very, very well-ran team. They have really good all-around players. And so, I mean, at the end of the – and everybody knows the Dodgers. I mean, they've got just skill up and down the lineup. The only thing I see is like their pitching in certain spots lacks a little bit. But they're a playoff team. They're a title contending team, and we took them to the woodshed.
Well, heck, they got a whole starting rotation on the injured list.
Well, true.
But yeah, I agree with both of y'all. Like, it encouraged the team, and it definitely encouraged us as well. Like, I was starting to get to the point where it's like, man, it looked like we're going to be big sellers. Like, we were flopping hard before those two series, man. We're kind of like back in it now. And like I said, we got a chance to do some more damage. We got some good AL matchups coming up with teams that's in front of us. Two of the teams are in our division with the Twins and the Guardians. Like if we can win these series, man, we can rattle off these series, these next 3 or 4 series we got. We can look a lot closer in that wild card and possibly a lot closer in that division.
Definitely. And I mean, at this stage in the break, I mean, they're almost back to 50%. If we can come out the gates looking really good, I mean, if we could come out and before the end of the month, looking like we may start to move into a playoff contention spot, maybe we could be a buyer at the deadline. Maybe. Which is funny because that's our next topic. Buyers or sellers as we head into the All-Star break?
Well, we're 7 out right now of the wild card.
Yep. And if we can close that gap, man, it's about these next 3 series. I think we got the Blue Jays, Guardians, and Twins. Like if we can win these series, we'll be right there. Like instead of being 7, maybe we'll get back to being that 3 games out. Maybe we'll be back to there. So if you can get closer to being in the wild card race where you're at fingers reach instead of arms reach, I think we'll be able to buy something at the deadline. But got to put in the work and win them series.
Definitely, you definitely do. This is not going to be a give me thing. I mean, we're going to have to work hard at it. The good thing is we don't have any like super high level teams out the gate, but they are still. So we get Toronto, I do believe, the first 3 games. I think it's Toronto or Texas. I can't remember. And then the next like 8 games or 9 games is Guardians, Twins, Guardians. So those are big games.
Well, I think what I'm going to say is going to kind of lead into the next topic is how they act. I mean, so yes, it's how we respond in our record, but how the Tigers act in a whole will tell us which way they're going. If they're selling, that'll tell you that they're wanting to rebuild and they're just going to tear it all down. Or if they, so that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You never know with Chris the Cheap Village.
Yep, he is definitely not going to. He's not going to go that far with what he's thinking about. Because if you look at it, when we start next year, we would have to spend $90 million next year or next offseason just to reach average salary in baseball.
That's just a lot of money.
Just to hit the middle group of teams, we'd have to spend $90 million just to get that.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. So, seeing as how we're talking about spending, we have the Skubal trade talk, real or just talk, good or bad, and we've received a lot of stuff just recently on Skubal. How do we all think about like this Skubal trade?
Well, I think the Tigers really, there's a couple ways you can go with this. Really, they're in the driver's seat because he's still only 27. He won't be 28 to October or November. He's still got 2-year control with him. So you don't have to trade him. So you really can sit back and get the best what you want. But I was also looking before we got on the show, his durability has not been the best over his career. Like he's already, I think it's 20 strikeouts away from his career high. So, do you take that in consideration? Like, let's trade him while he's hot before he get. So there's a couple ways you can go.
What do you think, Mike?
Me, I think I'm not trading him. I think, like Rich said, we got 2 years after this year, so we got 2.5 of control. He's not even 30 yet. Like, I'm keeping him. Like, I don't think the answer, like, a lot of people, they're only saying that's the answer because they want to get done with this rebuild. They want to start winning games. They want to get back into contention as far as, like, leading a division and being a perennial playoff / contending team again, like we used to be in years past. But I think that's the wrong move, man. Like you just said about the money, like we're way under. Like I think this year we're 60 million under average, and like you said, next year you'll add another 30 million to that, and we'll be 90 million under average. But and you don't necessarily have to go out there and spend 90 million to field a more competitive team. Like it's not that many spots that we would need when you look at the spots we have available in the hitting lineup versus the people we have either in place right now or the people that we have coming up still because we still got the young brother in the minors that still would have to come up too. So we got to take into context people like that. So I don't think you would have to go out there to spend $90 million to make a even more competitive team. But it's a couple spots you can spend on. We'll get into it probably in a future episode. We probably won't touch it today, but we were going pretty strong on that phone call we had a few days ago. Potential free agents we could see like meshing and matching with this team. But I think the move is to stay with the stand pat. Like, don't trade them. Like, you don't have to trade them right now. Like, let's bring this topic up next season or the season after that, man. Like, let's just see what we got and keep what we got. Get back into contention with this wild card, and then let's buy. Let's be buyers instead of just selling off our goods, and especially selling off the greatest asset on the team, man. When you still got 2 more years after the season of control, I don't get it. Unless you get blown away with an offer that's just ridiculous, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and so I am I'm with you, Mike. I don't want to trade him, and a lot of people be like, well, what happens if they throw the farm at us? The farm to one person is not the farm to other people. For instance, if you think giving us 3 prospects is proper trade for Skubal, you're out of your mind. Because if this was just a guy in his prime that he's on like his last year of his contract, or he's only got like 2 years left on his contract, maybe then you have it. But you have 2.5 years of control on his low level contract, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. That's why Baltimore is really the only team that has the availability to produce any type of thing. And we ain't talking your like, oh, I'll take your 3 bottom feeder prospects. That's the wrong answer. That's not happening. I mean, Baltimore's given up both of their top prospects. End of story. Like that's non-negotiable. And then let's get into the other prospects you're going to give us. This would turn into like a basketball type prospect for player move. You'd have to give us 4 or 5 prospects, or like a Jackson Holiday and like 3 prospects, just to entertain the fact to trade him. And I don't think. Go ahead.
For Corbin Burns, he's 29, and he's going to be a free agent after this year. Baltimore gave up Jory Ortiz, who was a 63rd prospect in MLB, and DL Hall, who was 97. And that's for being a free agent at the end of the year. So then my question to you, Mike, that was just for me to give information. What's your blown away offer?
Yeah, my blown away offer, like he said, it would only be the Orioles, because the 2 teams that we're seeing rumor is between the Orioles and the Dodgers. And you look at the Dodgers prospect list, it ain't even close. Like, as far as what I'm seeing from their prospect rankings, you can't even make an offer prospect base that would suffice in a Skubal trade between Detroit and LA. I don't even think that's possible. But looking at Baltimore's farm system and prospect list, it's a different story. Like, I agree with Chris. We need them first 2 on a list, and we need a couple more. So the Burns thing, that's a good thing that's brought up. For a 1-year rental, you gave away 2 bottom top 100 prospects. That's cool. But with Tariq, when you still gonna have 2 more years of control of him, and he's the best pitcher in baseball right now. Like Burns is right there neck and neck with the Cy Young race as well. But Tariq's been a little bit better this year, and like I said, instead of being a 1-year rental where you would have to re-sign him, you still got 2 years of control. So we would definitely need more than 2 back-end top 100 prospects.
Yeah,
I would definitely.
Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
Me personally, me and Chris were talking about this earlier. I'm starting a conversation with Holiday, and I'm not going off of it. That's what I'm starting it at. And we'll talk about everything else. But I got a question for y'all. What if the Yankees and they offer these two and something else? Dominguez, the center fielder, and one of their top shortstop prospects.
That's not enough. Dominguez is not good enough. He's not even good enough. I'm sorry. I don't like Dominguez at all. Maybe it's a personal bias, but Dominguez does not even move the needle for me. He doesn't even move the needle. He's like one of those other prospects that the Dodgers kind of throw at you. It's like Jason Dominguez is a good young hitter, but if you threw Jason Dominguez in, I still need your 2 top prospects. Like that, it doesn't move the needle enough for me. Not at all. Yeah, I'm gonna see what Jason Dominguez is, but I have a feeling that it's not as good as people probably think he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lean with Chris on this one because I haven't even looked at the Yankees as a viable trade candidate for a schoolboy at all. So I haven't even looked into them. So I'm gonna go with Chris on this one. Me and Chris usually see eye to eye quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just throwing it out there because they do have Dominguez, and I know they got a couple shortstops, and shortstop is a need because Javi the Goat Baez is just he's not moving the needle right now.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. Matter of fact, I mean that's probably not a topic on the show, is it? What's the next? I don't see it. That's probably not a topic on the show, but we could jump into that because I think we all pretty much got the same opinion on that. Like,
I mean, if so, he is in AAA right now. I mean, he's lighting the cover off the ball, but he's only played 9 games in AAA.
Is this
so he come back from his injury?
What?
Wait, who are you talking about? Who's in AAA right now?
Jason Dominguez. He floated Jason Dominguez and like a couple of the prospects. And Jason Dominguez, one, he had to come back from an injury, so that scares the shit out of me, or scares the heck out of me. And I don't know how he's going to come back and play. So with that said, I won't even touch him at all. Like I said, if you're looking at prospects, the first prospect has to be in the top 25. Like, end of story. Like, even the Dodgers, their top prospect is 48. Like, what are we going to do with that? Like, that's great. I'm just saying, like, prospects don't guarantee a whole lot. So that's why you need so many of them to make up for it.
That's the only thing that scares me about the Dodgers. I agree with you, but let's not get honed in on because their best prospect, Dalton Rushing, is a catcher / first baseman. And we don't know what we got with Torque. So first baseman is a question mark as we speak because right now we're running Urshela, Ibanez, and Mark Canha out there.
Yes, we are. One guy. So in that article that Mike put out, I think, or no, it was the one that you put out with the LA trade. Some guy in the comments had a good retort to it. He said the Dodgers, what Baltimore could do is Baltimore could trade for Flattery and Skubal and give up they could give up a couple of they could give up like a player on their roster already and then a couple of prospects, and that might work. They'd be set up for the next 2 or 3 years for World Series runs.
Who would that be? Colton Cowser, however you say it.
Well, we get their top 3 prospects. That'd be Mayo. That'd be that big. I can't pronounce his name. And then you'd have
Marcelo.
Yeah, and then you'd have Jackson Holiday. Those four guys are all ours for Flattery and Skubal. And then you're probably talking other people. But I'm just saying, like, that some guy made a Baltimore switch. If they were to trade, that would be a great trade. But then that'd be the Tigers giving up on the season. So, and probably their short-term future.
Yeah, I don't really want to give up on Flaherty. Him and
I don't think we need to do all that.
Him and Skubal, that's like, 2 out of 5, like, legit chances to win every time you go.
Hey, what up, y'all? And damn, you put the comment on there.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
And we don't care about no damn Braves. Fuck them.
Yeah. Braves are terrible. The Braves are terrible, man.
Hey, give me Acuna for Skubal.
Come back when you can. Come back when you can win a series against the Dodgers.
Give me Acuna for Javi Baez that we can talk.
That's awesome,
man. No way. What's the next topic?
Yeah. Okay. Who is your first half MVP for the Tigers?
Oh, that's easy, man. You got to go with pitching, man. You got to go with the Cy Young guy. You got to go with Cy Young, Skubal.
Okay, then I'll make it a little bit more challenging. You get a pitching MVP, and you get a position player
MVP.
Yeah,
position player. All right, position player. I'm gonna go with man. I'm not gonna go with the obvious. I'll let y'all have that. I'm gonna give it to a young guy. I'm gonna give it to Keith. Like, Keith is coming back. He's on fire. I'm gonna give it to him, man. He went through the fire. He was struggling, and he's just scratching the surface at this point, man. Like, he might. Matter of fact, we haven't even talked about the rookie, like, AL rookie race, but he's definitely putting his hat in there. Like, if he continue on this pace for the rest of the season, he's definitely gonna be a finalist, if not winning that. So yeah. I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Cole Keith.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Chris a slam dunk. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna take one slam dunk, and then I'm gonna give Chris the other slam dunk. I'm gonna take Flaherty as my pitcher, and as my position player, I'm gonna go with Perez, man. Like, I think when he came up, like, he does a lot of little things. He gets a lot of extra base. He almost reminds me of Baду a couple years ago. Like, he brings that energy. Like, he does all the little stuff. He's one of them glue guys that you need on your team. So that's who I'm going to go with.
And that's a good trade. That's a good trade right there, man. Kryler and Canada for Acuna. I like that.
I'll take it.
I like that too. I like that trade too. That's a good trade, Day. Come on now.
Yeah, you can have Urshela too if you want them.
You can have all 3 of them for Acuna.
That's asking for a bit much for Ronald Acuna, but we'll do it. We'll throw them in there.
Yeah, I know that 3 players for 1. That's quite a bit. That's a sliding. I don't know if we'll do that or not, but why not? So my MVP is obviously Tariq Skubal for the pitching staff, but I actually was going to take Colt Keith. That was the guy I was going to actually take, and of course you selected him. But because we all know the MVPs are actually in the All-Star game, like those are our MVPs, like the be all end all. I mean, I guess
surprised you ain't go with Torque.
Honorable mention.
Oh, Baez.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Baez. So yeah, gosh, I don't know who else to select without
Riley Green. Riley Green was given to you. Slam dunk.
That's what I love.
Didn't you hear what I said? Didn't you hear what I said?
No, we heard you. We heard you.
Yeah, no, I don't think Rich did.
Hey, now you got to pick a different position player. Then, if you ain't gonna pick Green, you got to pick somebody.
Yeah, I know, but I was. You took him. I'll take Riley Green. I mean, those are just two gimmies, and I don't like gimmies, but it is what it is. So yeah, those are our first half MVPs.
And we got to shout out. At least honorable mention Reese Olson though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. His record doesn't show. And I've said it to you guys a couple times in our chats. I think it was his last start. Like, he obviously didn't have his A+ stuff, but he battled through. And that, to me, that's a sign of a good pitcher, not to have your best stuff and to be able to battle through and still give your team an opportunity.
Yeah, hey. And when he did have his A+ stuff, he was getting 1 run score for him.
Or 0.
Yeah. That's why I think they messed up with. I know we passed it, but that's why I think they messed up with the All-Star nod. Like, I thought Skubal should have got the All-Star nod. Like, you even look at the run support. Corbin Burns was getting more run support than Skubal, even though Skubal was getting a little bit more than I thought he was getting, but still, it wasn't close.
Yeah. What about us finding a place for good old Kenton Maeda? Maybe a middle reliever. We may have found his sweet spot for pitching.
You know what? It's funny you said that, Chris, because that one, we don't win that game without him. Like, really, let's be honest. His fastball velocity was up from, I think it was like 90, 91 as a starter to high as 93, 94 out the bullpen. He had that emotion. Like, he just seemed like a whole different pitcher.
Yep, he was. And I have a feeling the reason why he did that is because it's a different approach when you're starting the game versus when you're coming in. Because what's happening is the players are studying overnight what pitcher they're putting out there. Oh, we know that they're putting out. I can't remember the guy that started for us because he only lasted like an inning and a half.
Was it Montero?
No. It wasn't Montero. It was Bo. They put Bo out there. Which I don't think they should have put Bo out there. I don't think he's the starting pitcher. I think he's an end reliever pitcher. Like, not a closer yet. I think he could have closer potential, but I think he need to be like an end of the game type reliever.
Yeah, like a 1 or 2 inning guy in like the 7th, 8th inning type of deal. I agree, but
like I'm not a Fano fan. Like, he almost messed up the game, but I thought even though I'm not a fan of his, I think that would have been a better placement for him to have him start off the game or somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Nate. I like the idea that he's pitching to batters that haven't studied him the night before. So he's coming in with them after somebody else was pitching to him. So different locations, different spots he's pitching to. I think he'll do well. He will do well in the long run for the next year and a half or whatever we have him for.
Hey, pull up that Rux's last comment there. That is true. They be hating hard, man. He be denying that he's a Tigers fan so bad, man.
Be hating on Michigan, even though we're national champions.
Right, man. Matter of fact, he on the wrong side.
Don't even start that. Don't even start that. That's the only thing I'm gonna agree with Day with, man.
The only thing Michigan State got is the correct shade of green. That's the only thing I'm gonna give them. That's it.
We'll see this year. We'll see what happens.
They ain't doing shit this year, especially if you talk about football.
Hey, 49-7.
They're gonna have to put the mercy rule in place.
We also had a terrible coach that got fired for like all that kind of crap that he had.
Hey, all I almost say is they sure enough find a way to slide him up out that contract though.
I know.
They couldn't wait to get him off the books.
That was the smoothest exit I've ever seen.
It was. They were so happy. They were so happy because they knew they made a mistake the year after they gave him that shit.
Oh yeah.
They said without Kevin Walker, he don't do shit, man. He don't do nothing.
That was terrible. That was,
You know what? Y'all got to stop playing with Kenneth Walker too, man. Playing. Let's go to the next topic because we could talk about me and Rich could talk about Michigan State all night.
I know y'all could.
All night. We got material.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Red Hot Colt Keith. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
so
let's talk about that.
Let me start this off. So I think it's even his approach, like the way his batting, like everything. And I know I've told you guys a couple times, every level he's been on, he has that moment. And when he has that moment, he takes off. I forgot what that moment was this year. But like also for him to study on that home run he got to tie the game, he came up to the plate looking for an inside cutter, and he was looking to pull it. He got that first pitch, and what did he do? That's impressive, man, for a young guy in my eyes.
Yeah, he's really coming along good. He's hitting the ball. Shoot, he's even laying a bunt down if he has to. Like, he's doing very well. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything more. I'm telling you, like, he is. I mean, he's not batting over 300 or anything like that. But from the time he bottomed out to now, he's on fire. He is on absolute fire right now.
And I think I know he gets slammed a lot for his defense, but I think he's been all right. Like, he's had some bad moments, but I think he's had some good moments. That double play he turned in that last game when McKinstry got it up the middle, and he was able to turn it and get the when the base is loaded. Like, that's good. Like, yeah, so he has his moments. I'm not saying he's Gold Glove, but he's not ass.
So he wasn't scouted to be ass. He was scouted as his defense was not up to par. His defense was adequate at best. So you can work on defense, obviously, but I don't see him as he's not going to be your defensive specialist anytime in the near future. He's going to be a really good hitter. Hopefully he hits for power as he's expected to, and hit for a quality average, but I don't expect a high-end defense from him.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to add, man. I'm just glad he's bouncing back and he's looking like a force out there. And props again to Riley Green as well. He said Riley Green took him under his wing and helped him out a lot. So, man, that's the type of people we need, man. If we think about the hitters, like, this is really his team. Like, we thought it was going to be Torque, but it's really Riley Green so far. So he's doing a lot.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Nah, you can go. I was pretty much done. He's doing a lot on and off the field for the clubhouse, man.
And that's the crazy thing to me is because Green and Torque came up through the minors together, and they're really, really good friends. And how Green has made adjustments. Like this year, his one adjustment was he wanted to get more lift on the ball, and now we've seen the power numbers. You just said that he's taken Keith under his wing. So it's like he's making adjustments and improving. He's worked with Keith and he's made adjustments improving, but your best friend is like backsliding. Like, that's confusing to me.
And that's because it's all about mindset. It's all about the willingness to make adjustments. And Torque is not. Torque is not making any adjustments. If he is, I don't know what it is, or maybe he just doesn't get it. Like, sometimes players just don't get it. Like, they don't know they don't know how to, like, you know how some players how some players, once they're done playing, they can't coach it or teach it, but they could do it. There's some players that can coach it, or there's some people that can coach, but they can't actually, like, do the play. Like, you can coach it into somebody, but you can't do it yourself. So, and I think that's Torque. I think Torque just isn't applying, like he can't to apply it at all. I think that's his problem, is he just doesn't know how to apply the adjustments.
Hey man, we gotta kick Day out of here, man. Look at Day's comments.
Hey, put Ruck's comment back up there. Put Ruck's comment. Ruck, you didn't have to do me like that. That's funny, Ruck. That's funny. Man. I say package. Okay, what is saying?
Arenado to Arenado, and it wouldn't be too bad.
Ain't no way.
I haven't even thought about that. Arenado got to be getting up there in age, though. Maybe similar to Javi. Like, do y'all know how old he is off the top of your head?
Arenado's up there, though.
He's in his 30s.
Yeah, he is. Nolan Arenado.
Y'all can go to the next topic or whatever. I'll look him up.
Okay. Shoot. Go ahead. Okay, this one hasn't been discussed in a little while, but people do still talk about it because Max Clark isn't at the major league level, and Wyatt Langford is all of a sudden. Now, I did see a comment from a guy. He's on there all the time. He used to be on a couple of shows, but he posts all the time. His name's Chris. I can't remember what his last name is, but he said they should have drafted Wyatt Langford for the now. Max Clark was more the long term, but people always compare which was the better choice. Well, at the end of the day, it's hard to compare them because they're 3 years apart. One's in single A and the other one's in the majors.
So what I will say, Langford is not lighting up the league by any by any means. He's had a couple good defensive plays, but the thing that I like about Clark is I'm not sure if he's ever going to be like a power hitting, but what I do like is he gets a lot of RBIs, and you're watching an All-Star game. Who's there right now who I'm pretty sure he leads the league in RBIs, but his home run power, I don't even think he's got double digits. Alec Bohm.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what I look at. Can you drive the guys in? You getting all these solo home runs, that don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Drive the guy in and us as Tigers fans, how many times have we had runners on second with no outs and we never get the runner in, or second and third with one? Yeah. So driving that guy in is more important. And also, I like he's got speed. I like how it was last week he had a hit to shortstop, and he hustled out the box, and he made the guy pump it, and he was safe. And really, the guy was equal with second base. He wasn't that far back. So those are things you can't teach. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Wyatt Langford's stat right now. His OPS is only 700. He's batting 254, which isn't bad, but his OPS is only – his on base is nearly 40%, which is pretty good. But, I mean, I'm not all enthralled with his stuff. I'm looking at his stats for a Savant Baseball, and his rank outside of his base running value and his bat speed and chase rate. Other than that, everything else is in the lower 40s. He's not doing that well in terms of for everybody giving him props versus Max Clark. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can compare the two at all. They're not even the same player. So I don't know why people even had the argument whether we should select him or not. I mean, I guess people wanted Wyatt Langford because they knew if they selected Max Clark that's more of a waiting game. They wanted a player right now that could contribute, so that way the team would be better. So in my opinion, I think I'm fine with them selecting Max Clark, and the fact that Wyatt Langford hasn't done He's okay. He's batting okay. Let's put that. He's average. But if this is the Wyatt Langford that you're looking for, 254 and a 702 OPS, I don't know what to tell you. Like that's going to be a good baseball player, average baseball player throughout his career, but that's it. So we'll see when Max Clark comes up.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this because I don't think you can compare him yet. Like we haven't even seen Clark step on the field as a major leaguer yet. Like, I mean, when you do those type of drafts, like it's the same in the NBA. Like some players are already going to be ready made. Some players going to need a little bit of cooking, and ages too. Like it's different ages. It's not like they're the same age. Like if he was same age as Langford and he's still in the minors, not close to getting up to the majors, then that'd be a different discussion. But that's not the case. So it's kind of a disservice, I think, to compare each of them to each other because it's just too different.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure.
Broderick Martin can hit more home runs than Baez.
Yeah, probably Lane McNeil too. Probably DJ Reader probably hit more home runs.
Oh, hey, Reader was a heck of a baseball player.
Right. They probably still can hit the ball better than Baez, but Tim Tebow probably can hit the ball better than Baez right now.
That's awesome.
Wait, put up that last. I was reading that, then it went off the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you had on there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Which is trending to scoring almost 100 more runs than they did last year. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's moving in the right direction.
That is definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, what I would have said to that had we not had a good closeout to the All-Star game, I would have said like, yeah, we're scoring, but we're scoring like 10-1, and then we're going like 5 games with like a 3-1 score or 2-1. Like we're scoring them in bunches, but ending that last week was awesome. So
now, I mean, they're doing it on a more consistent basis because, I mean, like you said, they used to go one game, they go crazy, then the next 3 is nothing. Like then they go crazy again, then they go for like a 4 or 5 game skid. Like if you could be more consistent, like just be consistent, give me 4 plus runs a game. Like we're gonna win some games, we're gonna lose some games, but just score some runs, period.
Yeah,
Tigers are a bunch of bums.
Before the last 2 series, I was starting to get real apathetic because it was looking anemic.
It was looking really bad. It didn't look like anything was happening. It looked like we were just gonna stall into the All-Star break, and then we were gonna be sellers, and then we were just going to like ride out the year basically. But no, I don't think we won 4 straight series because we didn't. Let me see. Oh yeah, maybe we did.
Then they give us
8-2. We were 8-2 in our last 10.
No, I thought it was 8-2. He said 7-3. I think it was 8-2. Shout out to they giving us some.
7-3. We're 7-3 in our last 10.
Either way, we pretty good in our last 10.
Yeah.
Shout out to Day for giving us props because Tigers are better than the Braves.
Yeah. Yeah, we did win the last.
That's what it was, Brooks.
Straight series.
Yeah, we're 8-2 in our last 10, Chris.
You're right. I saw it. It's weird. My phone's not showing that right now. It's literally showing 8.
Hey, shout out to Score mobile app, man. I'm trying to put y'all on.
Yeah, Chris still using. I don't know what app he was using back in 1960.
Yeah. I'm still reading the newspaper. It doesn't.
Oh, you still got the flip phone.
He still got one of them T-Mobile sidekicks.
Absolutely.
The Blackberries.
Old school Blackberry. Got one of the fucking Motorola Razors.
Believe it or not, I still have my very first.
Hey, I bet you he got a fucking Nextel chirp over there.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Back in my days in school, man, that used to be huge. You hear that chirp. That Nextel chirp used to be huge.
Oh,
man,
wow.
that was on the block for real.
Man, he had one of the pagers for sure. I know you had a pager, Chris.
And I did too.
Absolutely had a pager.
Right. You had one
good old Motorola pager.
I'll do it.
I had the little one.
Man.
Yeah, I actually still have my very first flip phone. It's somewhere in my stuff.
I bet you, hey, Rich, you got one of the big ass brick house phones, don't you, Chris?
Oh, wow. The one with the wire? The one with the wire. The one with the wire in the box.
Hey, man, that's crazy. Hey, times changed, man. I remember back in the day, you had to wait till like 9 o'clock or the weekends. Now everybody got unlimited minutes now.
Yes, very, very. I mean, you don't even have to worry about anything. Roll over, nothing, none of that. You just pay as you go. I mean, you just pay a monthly payment just like anything else.
That's why everybody that get on Catfish is dumb as hell. What's the next topic?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Possible prospects being added to the second seat half.
No, I have them. I'm joking. Yeah, I would love. Go ahead, Mike, because you like certain prospects.
Well, yeah, I know my favorite guy right now is the young brother, the Jace Young. That's what I want to see come up. Like I don't know how they're gonna get him up on the team. It's kind of hard right now with how everybody's been performing lately. But at some point, I do want to see him. Man, he was on 10-day IL for a hand issue, I believe it was, and he come back in his first game in AAA and hit 2 bombs in the first game. Like, hey, we got to get him up to the majors ASAP. That's all I got, though.
Yeah, definitely trying to over-ripen our prospects, but I agree. Like, we need to get him. We need to get him up and do. I don't care if it's DHing every once in a blue moon, just something. What do you think?
Dylan Dingler.
The catcher. Definitely.
Yeah, I think definitely we see him next year. I could see him making the team next year. Because we talked about that on the phone a few days ago, man. Picking one of the catchers you got on the team right now. And then, I can't believe, Chris, man, you're so old, you don't even know what a Nextel chirp is. That's
crazy. I have never heard of that before.
Crazy.
I've never heard of a Nextel chirp.
That's crazy.
It sounds like something you'd buy for for a 5-year-old just to pretend like they think they have a phone.
That was the thing.
That's crazy. That's
all you would be in Kroger or Myers and you would hear someone else get chirped.
Mm-hmm. That was huge, man. Where was you living at when the church was out? Where was you at? Was you overseas or something?
What year was it?
This early 2000s?
Yeah, it had to be early 2000s. So we know in early 2000s you was probably already 65, but
he was probably over in Iraq somewhere.
Man.
So
if nobody hears from Mike in a long time,
that's the question everybody want to know. The question everybody want to know is, what was you doing in the early 2000s, man, where you don't even know what phone was out?
2003, I joined the military. Okay. So if it happened during that time, I was in Korea for the first 2 years of my career. So we didn't have we bought.
Hey, what Russ talking about? He said put the last. I must have missed the comment.
Put the last comment up.
No, I see. Hey, Rux, you ain't shit. I see what you talking about.
We know what he's talking about. We don't
take that comment off. Take that comment off the screen.
I just wanna like stew on that for a little
bit. Hey, these kids don't know you had to you got to see the little the snowy little picture on your TV.
Wow.
These kids got it too good nowadays, man. They got everything nowadays. Like, man, we thought we was crazy. Like, we would have had any of these apps that these kids have nowadays, we would have been even going crazier in high school.
Oh, they don't know the struggle.
See, Rux has got my back. I like that.
Hey, I'm gonna leave that alone, bro. But he probably was. He was strapped up though.
Right,
what's the next topic? What's the next topic?
Player of the week. It's our last topic. Player of the week. There's a lot of good ones for 2 series worth. We had a lot of good ones.
Man, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be simple here. I'm not even gonna pick a player. I'm just gonna pick. Shout out to all the young guys coming through, getting timely hits when we needed them. Like we got some big ass hits in these series. Like especially this Dodger series, like Malloy, he came in as a pinch hitter. Matter of fact, we was on the phone, me, you, and Rich here. We was on the phone when they took who did they take out the game to put Malloy in? It was Ibanez. Yeah, they took Ibanez out. And me, remember?
Even Rich said, "What the hell are they taking Ibanez out?"
I told him, look, it's a righty. It's a righty on the mound. That's probably what it is. If it was a lefty, they would have kept him out there because he's a lefty killer. But hey, Hinch made the right move. Like we don't like some of the moves sometimes, but he pulled the right trigger in that situation. So shout out to him. Shout out to Perez for getting that bunt down. Who was the guy in front of Perez that got the bunt down as well? I can't remember now.
Malloy. Wasn't it a Malloy?
No, he got the hit. Malloy got a hit.
No, it was Velati.
Yes, shout out to him. He was swinging the bat well too, because we was debating that too when he was trying to put that gun down.
Velati had a good series too.
He was
he came out of nowhere.
6-10 or 5-9,
and that's pretty good. That's pretty good because he wasn't even up in the majors. Like so, just shout out to all the young guys for coming through and hitting, coming up with crucial hits, coming up with crucial RBIs, coming up with crucial bunts in that back-to-back bunt scenario that got us to win that last game of the series. So that's who my players of the week will be.
My player. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rich.
My bad, Chris. Go ahead.
No, you first.
I'm going to actually go with the reliever, Will Vest, man. I thought he had a couple good outings, man, to keep us in these games and had a couple good outs.
Yep. Hey, one more second. I see Rux still, or not Rux, Kneecap biting, he talking, and Rux in here talking. All right, so you didn't know about the next tail chirp, but you had to know about this one, Chris. You said you got to the military in 2003.
I'm seeing the comment. You're talking about that one, right?
Yeah, you got in the military in 2003, right?
Yeah.
So you know about the PlayStation 2 that came out?
Well, yeah.
Man, yeah. What was your first gaming system?
We're not going to talk about that. We're not talking about that.
Go with your player.
You guys don't even know what the game is. The game system is called. Now Kneecap biting might know it. Y'all not going to know it. So
what is it?
My very first game system was in television. It was the very first game system put out. It was before Atari. It was before all the Atari games. It was called.
Mine was Atari on a black and white television.
Yeah, I had. What the heck is that? So yeah, in television was one of them. It was basically a game with like coiled paddles. It was really weird.
I thought he was going to say sticks and stones.
And the button, like it looked like a telephone, like a telephone pad. And it had numbers to 9. And what you did is you slipped in a piece of plastic, and those numbers represented like directions and how you played the game. It was something else.
That sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah. Well, when you look at it now, of course it looks.
That sounds like some bullshit.
That is about as low budget of a game you could ever create.
I'd rather play whatever.
Hey, Chris.
What?
Mike got his hair braided and he don't know how to act. He feeling himself tonight.
Yeah, they braided them braids way too tight on him. He's pulling the follicles out on that baby.
Chris probably don't got no hair. Take that hat off.
There you go. There you go right there. No, I don't pull this hat off for nobody. You don't want to even see my mess. There you go. See, I knew he would know about it. GameCube.
Hey, Ronnie Rxbbin has some crazy eyes when he catches the ball, though. That'd be crazy when they show the slow-mo. He'd like he'd be kind of scared, but he'd be getting there.
You know, that was another one before he came in to the majors. They said he wouldn't be a good defensive outfielder.
Well, he started off his first season with a couple of like lagging fly balls. Like he just didn't like try to get to them that bad. And then last year he started coming on with his defense.
Hey,
so,
Chris, put that Brooks last comment on there. We gotta tell the fans. Look, everybody that's watching at 100, not 100, at 1,000 subscribers, Chris gonna take his hat off.
In order to get enough subscribers, we need people watching it. We also need certain subscriptions to be paid for in order for that to be done. So,
damn, he taking shots. He taking shots when we still live.
That's crazy work.
I'm trying to be nice and keep the shit in the background in the private chat. He going live.
I don't care.
See, you done cut your hair. You used the razor too close to your head. You got cuts.
I'm military. I don't have very much hair anyways.
That's
and I'm
crazy. That's crazy, man. See, this is why we don't have sponsors, y'all.
Hey, I choose to
this is why we don't have sponsors.
Chris will be taking shots at the sponsors in the middle of the show live.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man, that's some terrible crap.
We could have a liquor sponsor right now. You say, "I'll get this shit off the screen." I was watching somebody's show. They got you know how everybody had FanDuel and DraftKings. They had the nerve to say, "This is why I don't gamble, I don't bet." And then one of the two people, they was like, "Well, shout out to DraftKings because that's who sponsors." And they was laughing. I was like, "Man, you can't be messing up the bag, man. If you got them sponsoring, you can't be saying you don't bet." But that's probably why you should do stuff that you partake in. If you got a sponsor, it is something you rock with. That should be the best move. But Chris, you can't. Chris would be definitely taking shots at the sponsors. What?
He'd be like, I wouldn't touch that.
I mean, man, we wouldn't accept that sponsorship. We don't take anything from the Braves. Matter of fact, how many titles y'all got? How many? Y'all only got the one?
Oh, hey, Mike, the Big Brother Little Brothers program. I think he's talking about Michigan State, Michigan. Yeah, that's what he
I have no legs to stand on. I can't talk too much. So.
Hey, matter of fact, Chris, pick your player of the week, man. We got sidetracked. Pick your player of the week.
My player of the week was actually the team as a whole over the last series. Just the team as a whole. They played way better than they have the previous 20 games. So I love it. Shout out to the team as a whole.
Hey, Chris gonna take his hat off when he get them LeBron hair plugs.
I'll tell you what. I'll take my hat off when we reach 500 subscribers.
Hey, did you see what Knee Biting said? He said Chris would get hair club for men.
I thought about that. It's not worth the juice. Isn't worth the squeeze, though.
Crazy.
Damn! When was the last time the Tigers won the World Series?
Get that off the
like 50.
Chris, you was 50 at 84.
Hey, I was only a year old.
Hey, man.
Hey, at least I'm still. I can't say it on live. I can't do it live. I can't say it live.
In the show.
Yeah, I'd have to end the show to say it live. I can't do it live. Not to Day. He's our young buck. I can't.
Hey, and nobody was getting it worse than Rux in that last episode. He was getting it rough in them chats, man.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was getting it rough.
Yeah, Rux was getting tough.
But
hey, shout out to
everybody. Hey, Chris, don't expose him like he got exposed in the group chat a couple weeks ago.
Hey, shout out to me though. I'll be 41 in 15 days.
Hey, Kneecap. I turned 53 in October, so I'm right behind you, man.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Hey,
Chris,
what took you so long to get here?
Hey, she took so long to get here because you ain't sent out the links, man.
I know. I sent out the links yesterday.
I'm 78. I've seen one Tigers championship my whole life, bro.
Man, that's capping. That's Rux. He ain't 78. You got on here on the camera. He was 12.
Man, Rux is just the opposite of that. Yeah. He's still wet behind the ear.
Yeah. See, she said no link. You didn't send out no links. Or that wasn't Chris' fault. That wasn't Chris' fault. But
You turned 54 on the 9th. I turned 53 on the 10th of October. That is crazy.
That's
Awesome.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. He's exactly 1 year older than me.
Woo. Y'all can have your birthday party at McDonald's and have the senior coffee for free.
Man. This is absolutely correct right there. You were right, Cap.
Matter of fact, we need to talk about Ruck's main guy. He was hyping up Colin Cowherd a couple of days ago. That dude got told to shut the fuck up, basically. Yeah, he got told to shut the fuck up basically by Jeter, man. He was like, no. He said, definitely not. Hey, shout out to Jeter for putting Cowherd in this place. Because he was way off base talking about what was the picture? He said it wasn't in Maddox. He said he was in the Greg Maddox era.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he said I never went against Greg Maddox. I don't know how these people be getting these shows and they be embarrassing themselves like that in live interview situations, but it is what it is.
If you don't know the answer to the question, like you literally are just, you're just going to guess on it, just don't say anything. I'm not sure at this time. What's so hard to say? I'm not sure.
He said Nolan Ryan. Yeah, Nolan Ryan was the pitcher. Okay. Yeah. He said, I can't wait after that.
Nolan Ryan, I know he pitched for a long time, but I mean, I think his last game was 96 or 94 or something like that. And no.
That was funny. All right, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And
ARP throwing discounts in the air.
That's funny. Rich don't know nothing about that because he's too young, but Chris definitely does. But shout out to everybody for coming out, watching the show, commenting. Like, we love all this. We appreciate it. We're gonna keep on rocking it and try to put these shows out consistently on a weekly basis.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
And Rich, a new member of the show, man. He gonna be here.
Yep, you'll be seeing Richard on here on the way forward with all our future shows. So we'll have 4 guys on here hopefully next week, and we'll be able to produce more content and hopefully have a lot more fun on here, and a little bit we get a little crazy every once in a while, to say the least. So, any parting words, guys? Before we let everybody go?
Just looking to see how we come out this All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
The only bad thing is, I hope it didn't kill the momentum. That's the only thing. It's like, dang, it came at a bad time. We seemed like we were finally catching steam, and then it came. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to add to that, but that's basically what we got to get down to. See how we're going to come out for these next 10 games or so, and see where we're going to be headed in the race by the time the trade deadline knocks.
Yeah, definitely. But okay, before we end, you guys tell them where they can find you at.
Riggs928 at x.com.
OnePride_JR on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter as well and other social media platforms. Crazy Hockey Fan. Thanks for everybody watching and enjoying our content. We will see you all later. Like and subscribe. Thank you. And we're out.